Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us to our first training series. This training title is Hugs, Love, and Positive Interaction with Infant. Before starting, review our webinar housekeeping. There is a panel on the left side of your screen that you can use to raise your hand to respond or to ask a question during the presentation, as well as to download the handout or the certificate for this training. To download your certificate and handout, click on the handout tab below on the panel, and then you're going to click on each document in the handout and the section to access the certificate and handout. Once you click, a PDF document will pull up, and then that will allow you to download this document to your computer. We will give you more time later on at the end of this training to download your certificate and the handout. You can do it while we are doing the training, but also we will give you some time later on to start doing that. Meet your facilitators. My name is Raina Sajus, and my co-facilitator is
Antoinette Shaw.
We are both quality and education coaching specialists at Early Learning Coalition of Broward. Now I'm turning the microphone to Antoinette so she can start.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, thank you for joining us on this training. We're going to look at this picture that says positive interactions with infants. I just want you to take a few minutes and look at how the teacher is looking at the child and how the child is looking into the teacher's face as well. And how does that show positive interactions with infants as we move forward? So what is in it for me? What is in it for you? Let's talk about our training objectives. Participants will learn how to foster positive interactions with infants. Participants will gain an understanding of the class, infant domains, and dimensions. Participants will be able to identify best practices and in turn be able to apply it to the daily routine in their classrooms. Now, as Raina have told you before, that you can push on the button when you want to speak. So I'm going to ask a question. What do you see? As you're looking in each one of these pictures, I want you to tell me, what do you see in the pictures? So I'll give you a few minutes. You can click on the microphone so you can speak. Does anyone see the microphone or the hand? I'm sorry, it's the hand. You click on that, you can tell me what you see in the pictures. Okay, so I'll just keep moving forward.
You are on mute.
Okay. Somebody speaking?
The way the teacher is looking at the infant and interacting with them.
And what does that mean? What do you see? How do you see what it looks like?
More confidence with the teachers.
Confidence with the teachers?
Mm-hmm. And more interaction.
More interaction. And what do you mean by the interaction? If anybody else can add to what she's saying, let's pick one of the pictures. The teacher sitting on the floor with the children in the pool. Sand in the sand. What do you see the interaction between the teacher and the children there?
Works.
Do you see the teacher sitting close to the children?
Well, Belle,
And is somebody talking?
Wait a second. I have two hands up.
Okay.
Just a second while trying to unmute people. We got Stephanie. Stephanie, you can self-unmute now. I also have Wilbert. Stephanie? Wilbert, you can also talk. Carrie? Carrie, you're up. You can talk. I have Tyree Cullen. Your microphone is open. You can talk.
Okay. In case you didn't hear my question, is what do you see in these pictures? As Rhina is unmuting you so we can hear you. What do you see with the teacher in these pictures? All right. So let's just move forward while Rhina is doing that.
Alison, you're open.
I see that teachers are engaged with the children and they're at their level.
And they're at their levels, yes. And that is a good thing to do. So the children are not always lifting their head up to look at you. So as the teacher is sitting down, the children can just right away instead of having to pull their head out back to look at her. Also, the teacher that is greeting the child as she comes into the classroom, the teacher is smiling, she's looking in the child's face, and she looks happy as the child is coming into the classroom in the morning. So these are some of the things that we're talking about, you know, being in close proximity of the teacher. Thank you. Okay, we can go to the next slide. I'm going to leave a quote for you. It says, "Why are interactions with infants so important? Young children experience the world in the context of relationships. In turn, these relationships influence all areas of development. These relationships also lay the foundation for later development outcomes, including self-confidence, mental health, motivation to learn, achievement in school, and conflict resolution." So we're going to be talking about responsive caregiving. Our domain is responsive caregiving, and it follows with 4 dimensions. Those dimensions are relational climate, teacher sensitivity, facilitated exploration, and early language support. And we will go through each one of these dimensions so that we have a fuller understanding of what each one is. So what is responsive caregiving? Responsive caregiving is how teachers develop warm, happy, and respectful relationships with infants, how teachers are aware and responsive to infant needs, how teachers help infants engage in learning opportunities and exploration, and how teachers facilitate infants' language development.
Responsive caregiving is based on the ability of teachers to recognize infant cues and respond appropriately. Teachers observe the children's needs and respond appropriately, and the child receives the response and their needs are met. Once you learn the signal, the next step is to provide a loving response that meets the child's need. In doing so, you make the child feel secure and promote continued communication that's important for their overall development. Why is responsive caregiving important? It promotes secure attachment with caregivers. The The infant understands that adults are trustworthy and will meet their needs. It promotes emotional and behavioral regulation. It builds a solid foundation upon which later relationship and learning are based. Relational climate. Now we are going in depth on the 4 dimensions of infant class domain. After each dimension, we will put a video example that will summarize everything we highlight about the specific dimension. The first indicator, the first dimension is relational climate, and it consists of 4 indicators: relational behaviors, emotion expression, respect for infant state, lack of adult negativity. Relational climate reflects the quality of relationship between teachers and infant, emotional warmth, and indicators of respect and supportive relationship with each other and clearly enjoying being together. The relational behavior has 4 behavior markers: proximity, eyes contact, joint attention, and affection. It reflects the consistency of positive behaviors, physical closeness, sharing attention, and the degree of affection shown toward infants. The teachers position their body close to the infant to build relationship. They make eye contact and when they're interacting with them during tummy time, joining the infant while when they're playing on the floor with toys, or sitting at the table when they're having snack. Teachers play with infant and initiate activities following the child's lead by sharing the same interests. Teachers freely show affection, physical and verbal affection by giving hug, rub the back, and to help infant feel connected with them. For example, for a verbal affection, a teacher might say, "I'm glad to see you today, Anna. I'm having fun playing with you, Mario." Emotion expression, smiling, laughing, and enthusiasm. It captures the extent of smiling and laughter from teachers as well as general happiness and playfulness of the infant. Showing positive emotion let infants know you enjoy being with them and contributes to their positive experience. If an infant smile or laugh, reflect the same joy of the moment by smiling and laughing back. Use an enthusiastic voice when you're playing or talking with an infant. Respect for infant state. It embraces the degree of the teacher's interaction with infants that are calm, gentle, respectful, and informative. Teachers use a warm voice when talking with infants, when speaking, and also when speaking with other adults in the classroom. Be sure to let infants know that what you are about to do before you pick them up or before you move them from a different direction. For example, you can tell them, "It's time to change your diaper. Are you ready?" Or, "Your nose is running. I'm going to wipe them now." Teachers talk to infants in a polite language such as please and thank you, using their name. Recognize that they each have their own preference and feeling and thoughts. Lack of adult negativity. It reflects the absence of negativity, irritability, frustration, rough behaviors of the teachers. Working in a busy classroom is challenging, and we all have experienced days that are harder than others. infants are not yet able to regulate their own emotions. They need a lot of intervention of caregivers to help them feel soothed and happy. So your response to crying should remain calm as you comfort them. Now, we're going to see a video that will summarize everything we have talked about that dimension. Unfortunately, the sound will not on this video, but you'll be able to read along. So give me a minute. The name of the video is Having Fun While Playing with a Basket. So in this video, we noticed that the teacher was sitting on the floor at close proximity to the infants, engaged in joint attention and playing with them, making noise and playing with the basket. The teacher that was interacting with Jordan was regularly making eye contact with him. She was smiling and she was laughing with Jordan as Jordan was placing the basket on his head. Jordan shared the teacher's enthusiasm and giggle while he was continuously playing and doing the playing with excitement with the teacher. So there was a clear absence of negativity, irritability, and frustration, and the teacher was never rough handling the children. Now let's move to the next dimension, which is teacher sensitivity. This dimension has 3 indicators, and it embraces the teacher's awareness and responsiveness to infant verbal and nonverbal cues, teacher's ability to provide comfort, skills to resolve distress in a timely manner. The 3 indicators are awareness and cues detection, responsiveness, and infant comfort. Awareness of and cues detection reflects the consistency of the teacher's attention and awareness of the infant, even for the one who are not making bids of attention. Teachers need to stay aware of all the infants, turn their body and position their body in a way that they can see and look around the classroom. Check the infant who are busy playing or the one that are laying quietly on a mat. Teachers assist children physically to change their position or to keep them closer a toy or move them closer to a toy of their interest. Infant might give different signal if they are sleepy. An infant might rub their eyes, as another one might be agitated or fuss. The teachers must pay attention and respond appropriately to adjust routine for nap time and for feeding needs. Responsiveness. It captures the teacher's response to individual infants' need, letting the infant know that you are aware of their need, help them feel safe and secure. Validate their emotion when they're crying. For example, if a child is crying because your dad are leaving, you can say, I know you are sad that daddy is leaving. He will be back soon. Let the child making the cues know that you are coming by calling their name right away, immediately, that they send a signal saying you are here, you are right there, you're coming. For example, I heard you, Jonathan, I'm coming. Then attend his need as soon as possible. Infant comfort. It looks at the general level of contentment of the infant, to the degree which the infant seeks out the teachers when upset or happy. Infant looks for the teachers and are calm and soothed when the teachers make any effort to content them. So this concludes that dimension, and we will see the video that will summarize this dimension. The name of this video is Demonstrating Awareness of Many Infants. Please wait for a minute as I'm looking for that video. So in this video, we noticed that the teacher was sitting in a position where she could visibly see all the children, and she was turning her head to check on all the children. She maintained a communication with all the children, smiling and acknowledging them, saying, hi, big girl, what you doing? How are you? What are you doing? Where are you? I see you. And those kind of conversation that make the children connect with her. And also notice that the teacher adjusts the children and feed them where they were, their arm were bending, and she adjusts them physically and gently shift the child in order to keep them with her in a way that the child was comfortable. We also noticed that the child, all the children were very happy and they were crawling toward her, and that let us know that the children were feeling comfortable with them. And the teacher was asking questions. She was paying attention to each of them. She was turning to each of them and having conversation to all 4 children. So that will conclude this dimension. I'm now passing the microphone to Antoinette that will continue with the other dimension.
Thank you, Raina. Our next dimension will be facilitated exploration. And we're going to talk about our indicators, involvement, infant focus, and expansion of infant experiences. So we're going to begin with involvement, and we're going to look at the behavioral markers, initiate interactions, join in experience, and mirror behaviors. And what does that mean? Initiate interactions. Do you go over to a child when a child might need your help or trying to turn over, or even if you're sitting with a child and you're playing with a child and you initiate an interaction, you may move the ball closer to the child, you may move a toy closer to her or a little further away so they can start to reach for something. Or you join in the experience that they already having on playing with their toy, you join in, you have conversation. What toy is this? I like this toy. I like the toy has a red color, a blue color. So you're joining in the experience of the child on the floor. And then you mirror their behavior. A child could be laughing at what she or he is seeing, and you can laugh back with the child. If a child is raising their hand, maybe want to get up, maybe want to go around, you mirror the behavior. You're raising your hand as well. So as you mirror your behavior of your child, the child is seeing, oh, this is what's going on. So as infant teachers, you will have a lot of opportunities in your classroom to mirror their behavior. And then we move on to infant focus. So in infant focus, the behavioral markers are follow infant's lead, allow infant choices, and support their exploration. So how do you follow an infant's lead? How do you follow an infant's lead? As you are looking at the child, because you are sitting in close proximity of that child is reaching for something. So you help that child to reach to whatever that child might be reaching for. It might be a book, it might be a toy that they see. So you follow their lead. Maybe they're trying to stand up. So you're there following them, you're helping them in this process that they're going through. And you allow their choices. So you have a lot of different types of choices on the floor for them to play with. And you give them the opportunity to go over and to choose whichever toy that they might be interested. It might be the Elmo, it might be a ball, it might be a softer toy that is, or a musical toy that is on the floor, and you just allow them to make that choice and play with it. And then you support their exploration. When you are supporting their exploration, you're encouraging them to persist in what they are trying to explore, what they're trying to reach. So you might have to adjust that experience every once in a while to help them as they go through trying to support whatever the exploration is they're looking for or trying to reach. An expansion of infant's experience, you encourage that behavior. How do you expand the experiences for infants? So do that by communicating attempts, by adding words to the actions and sounds. And you can watch the children and you can pause sometimes and you look at them and you see what they're doing as well. And what is varied intonation for the children? And we have to go through that. So it's to encourage, insist to persist in experience through verbal encouragement and enthusiasm. And you often adjust with the infant so that they can experience to support continued involvement and extend that development. And you adjust their experience as they go through the day. It could be at the greeting when the parent comes in. It can be when they're going home. It could be on the table, the changing table, or it could just be doing on the floor as they're moving around in the classroom. So now we're going to see some videos for facilitated exploration. The video example we're going to watch today is facilitating exploration while playing with toy phones. Just give us a few minutes. So what did we see in that? So what did we see in that video? Facilitating exploration by playing with the toy phone. We saw the teacher when the child reached over the phone for her to get on the phone with him, and she did. She went right along with him as they were on the phone. So while we're facilitating exploration, again, he's exploring with this phone with his teacher, wanting her to be on the phone with him, and she went on the phone with him. And that is how, when we are in a classroom with the children, that we follow these children's lead to help this child play on the phone. And he wanted his teacher to come on the phone with him. So this is how this is encouragement that we're giving the child, that yes, we see that I am going to play on the phone with you. I am going to talk with you. And this is how, again, how we facilitate exploration with this phone for the child. It's showing him, yes, you're on the phone, I can talk on the phone with you. So this is what playing with, this is another example of facilitated exploration. Now we're going to go to early language support. We have teacher talk, communication support, and communication extension. We're going to start with teacher talk, self-talk. I know sometimes you might think self-talk, yes, because as you do your self-talk, your child in your classroom is who is benefiting from self-talk. Self-talk is as you consistently describe their ideas and your own ideas of the infant actions during an activity or routine. For example, self-talk, I am going to pick you up now. We're going to go over to the changing table. I am going to change your diaper. Oh, look, your mom bought new diapers today. So that is what self-talk is as you're walking through with your children in the classroom. And how do you describe the classroom events to the children? We are now going to the floor. We're going to do story time. We're going to read a book. This is the book that we're going to read. So you are describing what you're about to do in the classroom. And you use complete sentences when you are doing this to the children. Sometimes we seem to think that infants, we have to use little small words, but we use complete sentences. This is teacher talk, and this is our early language support for them, and how we get them to hear language. We get them to hear full sentences. So we use complete and varied sentence when we're talking to the infants. Communication support. It initiates sounds or words, and you repeat the sounds and the words that you hear. So when we're doing communication support, we also, as you repeat the words, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Let's go over here. Come on, let's go over here. So they are hearing it over and over again in their minds, you know, as infants. And then communication extensions. It provides words for infants communication. It expands and extends infants and communication and communication. So how do you provide for infants for communication? We speak to them. We talk to them. When we're moving around the room with them, we use words with them. This is your friend over here. This is your friend Mary sitting over here beside me. So we are communicating with them as we move from one place to the other. And we use words, whether they're words that, you know, words they are looking in your face and you're talking to them. Hi, guess what? We're going over here to go play with the little books over here. So that is communication still to the infants. Then we expand and extend on infants' communication. Now, how do we do that? Teachers often extend infants' communication attempts by adding words to the actions and your sound. So whatever you're doing, it has a word, it has a sound that can go with it. And you're engaging in and back and forth extensions too, to expand on the extension of infants' communications. You'd use back and forth verbal exchanges. The child might be just cooing or making little sounds, but not words, but you're still talking and you're still having that back and forth exchange with the child. Then you model turn taking with the infant. You go back and forth with the infant. You are saying hi, you're trying to get attention just to say a little hi, just something. Hello, you're waiting. I'm going to change you. So you take turn and you wait and you look at the child. You see if the child is trying to talk back to you. So that's talking, back and forth to the children. At this time, we are going to watch another video of early language support. This video's name is Encouraging Turn Taken During Diapering.
Are you ready to change your diaper? I want you to be smiling. That's a good one. I can make the same voices as you.
So what are some of the things, ready, we saw in this video when we're going to talk to encourage turn taken during diapering? She was saying, are you ready to change your diaper? Ah, what? I can make the same face as you. So she's encouraging turn talking again during diapering that we can do with the children. As that is a very good place to have a lot of conversation with a child when you're changing their diaper, because you have time there. You have time to talk to them about the diapering. Words like, oh, does it feel wet? I'm going to change your diaper now. Look, mommy bought new diapers for you today. So there is a lot of turn talking that can go on. The child is looking in your face. He was looking in her face. So he's trying with his mouth to answer back and say whatever is coming out of his mouth, even if it's just smiling and little words that he's not yet understanding. So that was our video on early language support. So think about one strategy you learned about today that you could complete in your infant classroom and what that would look like.
So before we review the questions, please make sure you download your certificate. I will pause for 30 seconds and give you time to download your certificate. Please go on the left corner of your panel and please click in order to see all your handouts. Make sure you download your handout and you download your certificate. Also, remember to register for our upcoming training series. It's also included in your handout. You have a list of all the trainings that we're offering for the month of April. I will give you a minute to download your certificate. And in the meantime, I'll be reviewing the question and we're going to be answering most of the question. And if we're not able to answer all of them, we'll respond to you individually via email. Apparently, there's no question. Oh, here. Is the certificate supposed to be empty for us to write our name? Yes. It's going to be empty. If you pull it up, you can just write your name. Can I repeat how to download the certification? On your left panel, you will see where it says handout. You're going to click on the arrow and it's going to show you the tab of all the handout that was attached. And you're going to see the ELC certificate PDF. That's how you're going to be able to download your certificate. I'm connected to a tablet and I'm not able, I don't have option for the certificates. So we will try to reach you. That's from Rosana Catale. We will reach you and try to see if we can send it to you. Or probably if you have an email, we'll send it to you. Okay.
Okay.
So there's no question. So this concludes our training for today. Here is our information. Please feel free to contact us via email. We'll be happy to answer your questions and help you in the process of implementing the infant class in your classroom. And thank you for attending. Have a great day.